Hey there. Thanks for tuning in. So I decided to show you a little bit of the type of exercise that I do now that I'm post-surgery, okay? These exercises have nothing to do with surgery, but I know a lot of you watching are weight loss surgery patients, either considering going through the process, soon having the process, or recently had surgery done. So I started exercising by simply walking right away after surgery. As many of you know who have been through the process, they recommend that you walk immediately so that you remove your gas and all that, etc. But I walked regularly prior to surgery, and then I continued to walk after surgery. At 3 weeks post-op, I started to take a dance cardio class, and I was cleared by my surgeon at 2 weeks to resume all normal activity with 0 restrictions. So at 3 weeks post-op, I started to take a dance cardio class. I still take that class once a week, and at the time I also started taking a class that was cardio mixed with a little bit of strength training once a week as well. So I was doing those 2 classes regularly from 3 weeks post-op, and then at about 5 months post-op, I started to do home DVDs where I was actually was using the Jillian Michaels Kickbox Fast Fix. I was doing that for 3 times a week in addition to my 2 classes, and then I proceeded to do a different type of Jillian Michaels DVD. I forget what that's called, but that was weight training. And now since March and April, I've been doing circuit training in my basement. Okay, so you often hear people say, I don't exercise, I can't afford a gym membership, or that's usually the biggest thing people say, is they can't afford a gym membership, or they don't have time. Those are the two excuses to not exercise, okay? First of all, you have time. We all have the same 24 hours a day. It's how we use it. If you want to do it, if it's important to you, you'll find time. Until then, you'll use that as an excuse. But as far as the gym membership goes, you do not have to pay for exercise. You can exercise in the comfort of your own home. If you are bored with walking, you're not a runner, you're not into bicycling, home DVDs are perfect for exercise. There's so many varieties, and now you don't even have to buy DVDs. You can do it all online. YouTube is a great resource for exercising in your home. There's tons of workouts that you can find on YouTube to do in your living room, in your basement, wherever. So I recently, in the past 2 months, month and a half, 2 months, really have been into this circuit training. And I'm not following a plan with it. I'm just doing exercises that I have learned through the years, either via working with my physiologist through my bariatric clinic, through DVDs that I've done, the Jillian Michaels DVDs, or other exercise programs that I've done throughout my lifetime, is where I've incorporated a lot of these exercises. So I'm going to show you a sample of what I do. So 3 times a week I come down to my basement and I pick and decide on 6 exercises, okay? And there are no set 6 that I always go with to do together. It's not on Mondays I do these 6 and Thursdays I do these 6. It's always random. It's always what I feel like doing that day. I probably spend more time doing upper body exercises than anything else, just because, my legs are pretty strong because I've carried around a large amount of weight for a very long time. And I do take dance cardio once a week, and the other cardio class once a week as well. So my legs are not neglected, so I focus more on my arms when I'm doing this in the basement. But anyway, so I pick my 6 exercises that I'm going to do, and then I set out whatever equipment I need to do those 6. If you don't have equipment, then you find 6 exercises that you can do without equipment. and you add equipment when you want to, when you can find equipment cheap. A lot of weights you can find but resold, like through yard sales or Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, etc. That's where I got this bench, So you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can do, there's 6 exercises that you can find that you like that you can do with your own body weight with no equipment at all. So again, equipment's not an excuse. So sometimes my 6 exercises include cardio exercises. Sometimes a circuit will include jumping jacks. Sometimes I have a step box, like from the old step aerobics classes. I have one of those that sometimes I'll incorporate cardio with that. And but for the most part, I do mostly weight training or some sort of strength training. So I'm going to show you the 6 exercises I'm going to do tonight. So the next thing I do when I decide on my 6 is I time them, and I time it on my Fitbit. So I do each exercise for 30 seconds. Now I do set my timer for 35 seconds. That gives me 5 seconds to get set up in position and ready to go, and then I just start exercising. And then when my timer goes off, I take a break. Sometimes, depending on what the exercise was, I will take a 30-second break. Sometimes I don't need to take a 30-second break, and I can just go right into the next station. If you don't have a timer, you can do it by repetitions. You can do it for, start small. If you want to do 8 of something, 10 of something, 12 of something, 15 of something, and then that's how you base your stations and when you move on. It's entirely up to you because it's your workout. You can do it however you want. As long as you're consistent and you do the same thing, you can do whatever you want. The next thing I do, so I do that, so I do my stations, 30 seconds for each exercise, and then I repeat that 5 times. So each exercise I do for 30 seconds 5 times. I don't know how long overall it takes me. It depends how much I fool around in between stations, because sometimes if the music that's on is really good, I'll stop and I'll dance for a little bit. Or sometimes whatever I did just really took my breath away and I need the break. So it just depends on what I do in between stations. So I'd say it can take you anywhere from 20 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on you and the breaks in between stations. I love this, okay? And the key to exercise is finding something that you love, okay? I always thought I loved cardio classes, and I do like them, but I don't love them, okay? I have to force myself to do cardio. I do like to dance, but breathing heavy and that whole cardio experience is just not my favorite. This I like because it's making me stronger, and I can see the difference in my body transformation from doing these exercises consistently. You always want to consult your physician before you start any type of program like this. I am not in any way certified to be a teacher or a trainer for strength training or exercising. This is just personally what I do, and I'm just sharing that with you, sharing with you what I do. Exercise is important, okay? It's an important part of our health. It does aid in weight loss, but weight loss is primarily what you put in your mouth, and strength training really transforms your body, and that's why I like it. So I'm going to show you 6 exercises I'm going to do today, and I'm going to start with dumbbell curl or bicep curls. Okay, so I'm going to get my timer set up here. And again, I set it for 35 seconds, so I have 5 seconds to get everything set up. And then I just do the bicep curls until my timer goes off. You don't want to lift or use weights that are too heavy, okay? You want to make sure you can perform the exercise the right way. If you don't know the right way, work with a physiologist or a personal trainer. There's books you can buy, there are videos you can watch for correct form. And like I said, I don't know that my form is 100% correct, for everything I do, but I do try my best to make sure my form is as best I can, because I don't want to hurt myself. And again, I just go over this stuff with my physiologist, and I'm pretty confident I'm in a safe spot with what I'm doing. So that was my bicep curls. The next thing I'm gonna do, I don't know what they're called. I go into a wall sit, okay? And then while I'm in the wall sit, I do hammer curls and whatever this is called. Okay, I have no idea what that's called. But I go into the wall sit so I can get a little bit of lower body exercise in with the upper body. These exercises are, this specific exercise, if you are not exercising regularly, starting this with just doing the wall sit is good. That's what I did at first. And then after I was able to comfortably hold the wall sit for 30 seconds, then I started adding in weights. And then I increase the weights as I go. So usually it's about 4 weeks, and then I'll increase weights. The next thing I'm gonna do is chest press with this, with my bench. You do not need a bench to do chest press. You can do chest press on the floor with dumbbells and do the same exercise, okay? Like I said, I found this on Marketplace for really cheap, and so I bought it, so make use of it. But you don't have to have this. You can do the same exercise on the floor with dumbbells. And again, I do these exercises 3 times a week. I have to commit to something in order to make sure it's done so that I don't make excuses to not do it. So I'm committed to 3 days a week, so I make sure 3 days a week I'm down here doing a circuit. That's one of my favorite exercises to do. I don't know why, but it is. So the next thing, I'm going to move this out of the way. So, because the next thing I do is on the floor, and I want you to be able to see it. Okay. So I'm going to do 2 exercises on the floor. So far I've done 1, 2, 3. So I have three to go yet. Okay, so the next 2 I'm going to do on the floor, and hopefully you can see it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do chest flies and hammer curls. Or I'm sorry, chest flies and headbangers. Okay, so first I'm going to do chest flies, and when I do the chest flies, I'm going to go up into a semi-bridge and hold my hips up in the air so that I am working my lower body at the same time I'm working my upper body. And I'm just going to do chest flies. This is my favorite upper body exercise. And I think it became my favorite years ago when I was trying to get healthy back then. And I was doing Jillian Michaels, and I love Jillian Michaels workouts. I would be so exhausted by round 3, and round 3 was chest flies, and so I was so happy to be laying down. But I think that's where my love for that exercise has come into play. Okay, and then the next one is headbangers. These get a little tough towards the end, but they're easier for me to do on the floor than standing up. And this is working the tricep. Again, my form may be a little off sometimes. You know, I do review with my physiologist periodically, but you definitely want to consult with somebody and help develop your own plan. You don't want to do anything that's going to hurt yourself, and you want to do exercises that will help you get stronger and will help transform your body. You know, but you have to like them. If you don't like it, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it consistently. You're not going to stick to it. So you have to like it. And sometimes you have to experiment for a while to find out what you like. And what you liked 5 years ago, you may hate now. That's okay. We change, we evolve. We as people evolve and change. So it's only natural that your exercise will evolve with time too. And then the last, so I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the last one I'm going to do is, again, I don't know what this is called, but I'm going to pull up to my chest, and I'm using a weighted kettlebell. You could use a dumbbell with this. And if you're new to exercising, you don't have to use a weight at all. You could just do the squat. So I'm going to pull up, and then when I go down, I squat, okay? You know, I'm sure doing a lot of thigh workout in here tonight for someone whose thighs are burning. My thighs hurt because I tried to run Saturday. I was in a 5K, and I ran in intervals because I'm not a runner, and I already told you I hate cardio, but I still tried to run as much as I could, and that was 2 days ago, and my thighs are still burning. So there, that's one circuit. Now I'm going to do that 5 more times. Again, it doesn't have to be hard. You can start with 1 pound weights. You can not use weights. You have to research, work with a trainer, work with a physiologist, get DVDs, whatever. Find exercises that you like to do and just do them. You know, it doesn't have to be grueling. It doesn't have to be something that you hate. So there, I just thought I'd share that with you. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. Give me any comments or feedback. If there's something that you would like to see me talk about in the future, make sure you let me know. And thanks for tuning in.